true psychopath. When you're lost, take your trust. That's me. That's so sick. I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psycho. Ooh, I'm a fraud, call me a liar. A true psychopath, don't love me. When you're lost, take your trust. Yeah, that's me. Oh, that's me, that's me, that's me. Yes, I'm a fraud. Call me a liar. A true psychopath.
Hi everyone, how are you? It's so good to see you guys. It's almost Valentine's Day. Hey Red. Hey Pointer Lover, Adrian, Sarah, Mayla's mom, Teacup Kraken, Music City Mom. Good to see you guys. Neat Noodle, Pointer Lover, Mick, not Mac, Lisa, A Million Sparkles, Christina, Preschool Granny. Good to see you guys. Cool Gamer, Laura Bean. What up, what up, what up? Kathy R, Richie. Good to see you guys. Welcome, welcome, Vanessa. So good to see everyone. I'm glad you guys are all here, could join us today. I have a little confession I have to make. Hey, Cassie, good to see you, Clicker. Claudia, hi. Riley. Let's see, I don't want to, Chase, hey. Ange. Chloe, okay, I think I got everybody, but I have a little confession I have to make. Okay, so all morning long, I did not watch the trial this morning. I'm not even going to lie. I'm not even going to front, not even going to pretend like I did. I worked on the documentary. That's what I did. I did all the narrating for it. So I didn't get to see this morning. However, I did get to see this afternoon. And we will be talking about that. So, hey, sexy wild thing, Carol freaking Papa Elvis Klaus, Deb, good to see everybody. All right, let me bring up my girl, Allie. Let's chat about it. Hey, babe, how are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you?
I'm all right. Brandywine.
It's been pure chaos at my house, I'll be honest. Bentley's getting ready for Valentine's Day tomorrow, and we had to make the box, which the teacher had a special request like 2 days ago that I didn't know about because I already had a box. And so it left me last minute scrambling. Yes, but I think that we have it under control. And then we're done now.
What special request?
She wants it to be based off of a Valentine's Day book.
What? I don't even know a Valentine's Day book. I know some Valentine's Day horror stories, like My Bloody Valentine. Does he need help?
Yeah.
I can help.
Well, I found a book online on Kindle and we got it and we made it after that. And it's about a heart that passes gas all over the class and stuff like that. It's a silly little book that little boys will probably like, So.
Oh, of course.
But yeah.
Oh, I do know a Valentine story. It's Edgar Allan Poe, The Telltale Heart. It's a good one. Might be a little mature.
Yeah.
Minnie Bindi used to love Edgar Allan Poe. I regret that.
I remember that from middle school, but I don't remember a ton. I think I just didn't absorb a ton of it, but I do remember us reading like one or two of his books or something like
his short stories and poems. Yeah.
Yeah,
they have the
something
whole
like that.
they have the whole series on Netflix called House of Usher, and or it's called The Fall of the House of Usher. The short story that Edgar wrote about it, or that it's based on, is called The House of Usher. And actually, I think they did a pretty good job with it. I mean, obviously, to take a short story and make it, what, I think 10, 11, 12 episodes, something like that, is difficult, right? So they had to, like, add some stuff to it. But it's actually they actually did a pretty good job. I was actually quite pleased with it. So yeah,
Well,
we
what
got
was his
special.
like most famous thing? Because like what
Oh,
did you remember that's like some of his most famous work?
I remember The Telltale Heart. I remember The Raven. I
That one.
remember.
I remember that.
I've always liked The House of Usher because um, he bricks his enemy alive up in like a wall, and I've always just, I don't know, I've just always liked
Well,
it.
I do remember hearing the Raven. Like, I feel like we did that in school. But anyways, it was a whole thing, which I seen a couple comments. Teacup in the chat, she's doing the last minute Valentine's Day thing. Maybe we can help you guys talk you through some of that. Y'all doing some of that at home.
Yes, Valentine's Day when you're a kid, especially like later elementary school and then like junior high, is a lot of pressure, because you don't want to give, you have to really think about the Valentine, you get the box, right, of the pre ones, right? And then you have to assign them to people, but then you got to look, because you don't want to give one that's kind of mushy or whatever to a guy you don't like, and then you're sweating. You want to give a mushy one to the guy you do like, but what if he doesn't like you back? It's a whole thing. A whole
Yeah,
thing.
it's quite complicated. No, but
Really don't.
okay, so it's interesting that today you didn't watch the morning because I watched it, but I was in and out watching it, like not as closely as every other day. So,
Mhm.
but you watching the second half. I mean, they had several investigators on. They talked about the search of the car and things like that this morning. And I did get all the witnesses, like screenshots of all the witnesses and stuff. But I feel like I'm ready for like a better conversation about the second half anyway. So it kind of worked out perfectly.
Okay, good. Because quite honestly, okay, in this case, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, which I'm assuming by the fact that you're here that you guys do want to hear it. Um, I don't know necessarily that this case for the jury is going to come down to physical and forensic evidence, mainly because there's no body. And no bodies crimes are incredibly difficult to prosecute, but this one is even more difficult because there isn't like a crime scene. Okay, it's not like they found a spot or a place or whatever where there was so much blood, right? Even if it were cleaned up, that the person couldn't possibly have survived, right? Those those are less difficult to prosecute. This one, I really believe, is going to come down to the witness testimony. And I think that the first witness that testified in the second half of today, um, Anthony Bordero, is my mouth was on the floor for like, I can't even lie, y'all, for like, I don't know, most of the testimony, and then cross examination started, and I was listening to it and I was intently listening, and then all of a sudden, before I knew it, it was 4:30 in the afternoon. I had done fallen asleep. And yeah, I've been staying up late and getting up really early, and I think my body is like, "Bitch, I don't know what you think you're doing, but you need to stop." So, I want to get over here to hold on a second. This,
Hey, you
what did
guys
you
in the
think?
chat. I was the same. I was, I was really, the defense attorney just really gets on my nerves. And I felt like she was just so rude. And you know what? Obviously, the dude has a record. He's there for getting their food stamps. And you know what I mean? His connection to these folks isn't great. I just felt like the defense attorney is focusing on the wrong things. Like, in my opinion, she's wasting too much time with that stuff. So I don't know.
Just questioning Kayla. There were times when like I could sort of kind of follow what it was that she was trying to do. Where she was going and why she was doing what it was that she was doing. Some of the things. Um, I did think it got like excessive. I mean, listen, you have established, Bootleg Elaine, Miss Smith, that Kayla Montgomery is definitely a lying liar face who tells lies. I mean, and also just so you know, Miss Smith, that that was also established on direct when Kayla admitted that she pled guilty to perjury charges. See, that perjury goes hand in hand with being a liar. Okay. So like you're doing too much. And oh my gosh, Nadine, my boo, what you doing, girl? I haven't seen you in forever. I miss your face. Glad you're here, babe. Thanks for coming in. So yeah, I felt like okay, some of it was redundant, and I know that her style, I'm not a fan of her style, and I'm curious why she is the one that is doing all of the questioning because honestly it's a balance. You have to, yes, you want to try to get the witness impeached, okay? And if you can do it in a way where they get a little angry, that's even better, especially if it's a witness like Kayla, okay? That's you do want to try to get under their skin. But what you don't want to do is put the jury to sleep where they've completely just checked out, i.e., dissociated.
Yeah.
Hey, disorder in the court. Yes, yes. Disorder in the court says to me, she comes across as searching for a hole to climb through to get reasonable doubt, pushing too hard. She is pushing too hard. And what she ends up doing, in my opinion, if I were on the jury, this is how I would feel. I would be like, bruh, okay. By the time she actually gets that, like, especially with Kayla, by the time she actually got Kayla to sort of concede to some things, or actually, and there were a few times where she made some admittances and actually changed her testimony a little, like she had testified yes one time and then no another, or the other way around. By the time she got that out of her, I was complete. I was my soul was down the street, like a mile down the road, because I couldn't, I mean, I caught it, but no, why? What's Nightbot doing? Neat Noodle, let me see what's happening. Hold on. It just
I was
felt like
wondering that too. Lynn, disorder in the court. Um, are you free one evening for the rest of the week that you could come on and chat with us? Any day
yes,
this week, let us know because I would love that. I know Jen would too.
I would. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me see what's happening. Hold on a sec. Let me see.
Yay! Well, let me know what day is best for you. Like which evening is best out of the next three.
It does appear as if Nightbot is not doing its job. Well, hell. Oh, give me just a second. I'll fix it. So I felt like mm,
Boho Hobo says, "Is it just me, or does the defense attorney seem clueless? She gets names mixed up and stuff like that. That she does. The streets mixed up. I don't know. She catches herself most of the time. Lynn made a comment on it today about her misspeaking like a lot, and she does. Sometimes she catches it, but
It's problematic because when you are asking a question, it's important that you're asking the question correctly because you're trying to elicit a specific answer. And it's difficult when you're talking about Elm Street, but you say Main Street. It's confusing, and then it's a problem when I see. Hold on a second. How do I?
what did you guys think about Kayla's mom and her testimony? Is there anything that stood out to you from that?
What? Say that again, Allie. I'm sorry. I have to fix Nightbot, and I clearly can't talk and type, and something is very wrong.
That's why I was talking to the chat, but really to you too. But I was like kind of just trying to chat with them while you got it working. But I was just asking about, did anybody have any thoughts about Kayla's mom and her testimony?
I will say this. Kayla's mom looked different than what I was expecting. Don't ask me what I was expecting because I don't really actually know the answer to that question, but I just know that it was different than she looks different than what I expected. I don't even know how to explain it. She just did. What about you?
I guess nothing like super. I guess I could pick up on a tone at certain times. I could see why because you're not the only person I've seen that said that about just looking differently than expected. And I don't think that Kayla, one thing that I noticed was her talking about like giving them money and stuff. And it just reminded me of they were using anything and everything they could. Remember the text I sent you today? Are you going to show those that Tess sent those to me from Twitter? But they're in one of those that they're selling the dog for money. They're selling the EBT for money. They're just living that lifestyle, that addicted lifestyle. But I don't think that her mom was as supportive of that though. But I still think that she was playing her role in it to a degree because of even giving them money occasionally.
Right. Which I feel badly for her mom because, look, I'm going to be honest. That's like a difficult situation to be in, honestly. Can you imagine? I don't know. I to see your child. Why? Oh, there we go. It's here. Okay, fine. It should be fine. All right. It should be working now, you guys, I think. Let me look.
Yeah, it is. It just put a bunch in there. Pointer lover. Well, I sent Jen the text. I don't know if she wants to show them or not.
I was going to let you show them, Allie, because I need to go through my computer. I can't go live on my computer on the desktop because I don't have a camera. I didn't think about that because my laptop has one, so I didn't think about it. And so I have to. I can't upload anything else to this laptop. I need to clear a bunch of stuff off. So I don't want to download any more pictures and stuff before I clean it up. So let me clean it up, and then I'll be more of a help. Well, but I wanted you to show it because, they're yours. You're the one that got them.
Well, do you want me to show it here or on mine?
You can. It's fine. It's up to you, babe.
I don't care either. Well, I just thought that it would be something extra to add because they are not new messages. However, they are just being released. SF Investigates is releasing them on Twitter. He
Okay.
is a private investigator, but he was back then, doing stuff on the case and talking with police. And he waited until after Kayla testified to release them. They hadn't been put out before.
Which
So
I think was really responsible of him to do. I think
I
that
agree.
it's a very fine line when you are trying to report on any case, on really on anything, even if it's but particularly true crime. But also it's you want to get the information out, right? But I appreciate creators that are ethical about it and want to. It's not so much about being first with the information, it's about doing the least amount of damage with that information. And I think that waiting until after Kayla testified was the right move. I really do. I think that was incredibly ethical because you really don't want to do anything to cause a situation where there's a mistrial. It's no different than an open investigation. Just because the person is at trial, things can still be done by people on the outside that can do damage to the trial process. And that, for
Yeah.
me, means, justice delayed in my book is justice denied. And Harmony deserves justice. I mean, the fact of the matter is, nobody was looking for this baby for far too long. I mean, you guys think about that. How quickly would you be looking for a child? Nobody would wait days. Nobody would have to be told either to, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just really sad that nobody seemed to care, you know?
I know. Oh, also, they released some messages today. I forgot until I'm going back through my notes from this morning. So there was um, an officer that came on first, Neil Pintonen, then
Mhm.
Matthew Gendron. He worked at Duncan. And I did grab screenshots of those texts. I'm going to come in on my computer in a second so I can pull these things up
Okay.
if you want. And I also got photos of everybody and that stuff. So let me just get
Absolutely.
that.
Now, see, here's where I am with what Cray Cray is saying right here. I would think wouldn't want, I know what you meant. She corrected it at the bottom there, but I wouldn't want my grandchildren to live in a car. I agree with that. And I understand that there is, as a mom, right? Because I am a mom first, right? And now I have grandbabies. And I love all of my children, make no mistake, but I love my grandchildren as well. And I think that I would try to help my children, which by extension would be helping the grandchildren. But I also recognize that there are some situations, and addiction is one of them, where you cannot care about the person's sobriety more than they do. And in that situation, I would help my grandchildren and not help my children. If I extended the help and nothing changed, then I would cease to help my children and begin to solely and only help my grandchildren, which means I would have taken those babies right into the house. Absolutely. Um, so that's how I feel about that, but I that's me saying that. And I don't, it's hard for me because I don't want to fault people because we are looking back at this case, knowing how it ended, knowing all of the things, and I don't know that, I hope, knock on wood, that I would never be in that situation. And so I don't want to be incredibly judgmental, especially when I'm looking back with hindsight. So, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But I did listen, like I said, to Anthony's, and let's play a little bit of his testimony while we wait for Allie to come back.
When I went, yeah, I
This,
lost signal going inside. I'm sorry, Bendy.
No, you're fine, babe. You're fine. I wasn't even. It's no biggie. I am very I'm concerned about Anthony's testimony. If you want to know the truth, I
Oh,
think
really?
that well, I mean, here's where this is where I'm concerned. If the state, if they're, I'm gonna, well, I would, let me put it like this. It seems to me as if basically Anthony's testimony sort of was similar to what we talked about last night with Amber, which was, is it possible that Harmony was actually unalived much sooner, and or the incident that caused her death occurred much sooner, and it wasn't she languished. She didn't pass away immediately, right? Because Anthony is pretty solid on when he believes he. Do you want me to take this other one out, Allie, and just add the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to remove this one and add the other one. Anthony seemed pretty sure about when he did and did not see those kids, not even Harmony, to be specific. And I would have to know how the jury instructions are going to be. I'm curious if all they have to do is prove murder, not the actual date. Do you see what I'm saying? Because if they're stuck having to prove it took place on the 7th of December, I am not sure how that's going to happen just after that testimony. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if they look, Sleuth Mom, I was hoping, I don't know if they'd have to prove the date or not, but I agree with you that it's starting to make things fuzzy. She said, I was hoping I would come and you ladies would talk me out of thinking all the details are still wrong. Sadly, you're on the same lines I am with thinking something is not right still. I know. And I agree 100%. Here, Bendy, whenever you want, I'll show you.
Okay,
This is not with Anthony's though, but these are,
okay.
this is a
Here,
guy that
baby.
worked with him at Dunkin' Donuts, this guy.
Yes.
And his name is Matthew Gendron. And he also was asked to come and jump the car. And he wasn't having it. Like, but it was that 12/8, the first night they were in the Audi, after, and Harmony was in the snow somewhere. And this is the night that Courtney Garcia, was it her that came? No. It was the Kimberly girl that came and jumped the car, that she came and the boys got in the car with her and stuff. Yeah.
Yes.
So they reached out to him and they showed these messages in court from that.
Which is another issue because that girl's testimony is that Kayla and the boys, which we know that would make sense, right? If Kayla's telling the truth, that was on the 7th, and that Harmony wouldn't have gotten into the car with Kayla and the boys, right? But Kayla testified that she didn't get into the car with her, that she stayed in the car with Adam, or in the car while they did whatever they were doing with the kids.
Right. It's interesting.
Kimberly Frayne, thank you, cutie pie. Yeah. I got to tell you guys, I got to give it up to you guys in the chat real quick because my brain has just been like buffering like extra. Like I need to restart the router. Something ain't right. I don't know what is going on. I think I have too many tabs open. I'm thinking about too many things at the same time. And it's making it the names are very difficult. So
look at little Lynn in the corner here.
There's our trusty friend, Disorder in the Court. If one of the mods would be so gracious to please drop Disorder in the Court's channel link and Sleuth Mom's channel link, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. I like to share out good creators that I enjoy, creators that are cool, and I like to be supportive. over here, and I know Allie does too. And so I want to make sure. I have been bound. I've really mainly been in disorder in the courts chat, but I need to, to bounce around so I can
I've
be
been trying to
supporting
go
everybody.
back and forth, but like today and yesterday, I've just not been in the chat as much. I've just been listening more.
Yeah.
So here's Lynn's, and then I'm gonna get Sleuth Mom's too.
Well, yeah, and I know how you feel. Like I've been today, you guys. I really worked. I've been working hard on this documentary for a long time, and I need to get it out because I don't know. I need to. It needs to be done. I need to get it out of my brain. I think that's probably one of the things that's causing the brain to buffer. And see, that's what I thought. Low Red, that you have to have an assumed date of the offense. So all of this, hey K-Brace, all of this seems like potentially problematic. I don't know. I knew that you had to have an assumed date, but I felt like I've seen situations where oh, tell me the real Gemini, no lie. If you don't feel comfortable putting it in the chat, just email me. It's in my about section. But I have seen there be a range.
Okay.
MK Lynn, what you doing, MK Lynn? You ready?
He gifted 5 memberships. That was sweet. MK. Yeah.
MK
Okay.
Lynn. Thank you so much, MK. You're the best. You guys are all so great. You guys are the best. You really
Yeah.
are. I'm so lucky. We're lucky.
Agree. Very
Yes,
lucky.
the real
Okay,
Gemini just message me or email me, babe. I can't wait to read it. Go ahead. Okay, sorry, Ellie. Let's focus, Jen. Come on, get your life right, girl. All right, here we go. I'm ready.
Okay. So this is, remember, supposedly the night. It's 12/8, but that's because it's after midnight. This is the night that everything took place. They lose their car that day because it breaks down in the intersection. Remember, they go in the Audi, right?
Right.
Harmony is out in the snow, which is disgusting and sad. So they message, and apparently it's Kayla, and they message this Matt guy, and she says, hey, need help ASAP. Please, need a jump and jumper cables ASAP. This is 12:13 in the morning. Then they don't get a response. 45 minutes later, I need a jump. My car died. We've been sleeping in our car, and the battery just died. And the person, Matt writes back, I don't have cables. They say, this is Kayla. Will you bring me to a store to get them? I'll give you gas money. We will literally die tonight. And he says, I just got home from work and have to get up early for work tomorrow. What's even open and where are you guys? And she says, it's okay, Matt. I don't know what is open. I'm sorry. He says, it's not your fault. I just don't have cables. Not so I know what's open. I think he means, and I don't know what's open. And she says, I think either if mobile don't have them, the only place is Amherst Walmart. So I know you need to get up early. Have a good night. Sorry. He said, it's okay. He said, it's okay. Try to have a good night.
This is hard. We shouldn't be laughing because there's children involved. Like, I ain't got nothing for Kayla and Adam. They can pull freeze. I don't give rats that kneecap, but the kids are who I care about.
No, I'm not laughing at that. I'm just laughing at his like very tone deaf response to
yes. Have a great night.
Have a good night.
it's like an Aunt Brenda response.
Yeah.
Okay, baby, I'm sorry you freezing your ass off. Have a great night. You're humongous. Bye.
Exactly. Then Kayla says, I'm gonna try. Can we die in this weather? ? We can't, right? We can just be really cold. Hey, I'm at Colonial Village and Kimmy said she has jumper cables, and he says, can Kimmy jump you? And it went, Kimmy didn't have a car, and it was the whole thing, but he didn't go. But still, it's just like this is just more addict behavior. Everything in their life points to obviously what was going on. I mean, you become very, of course, with little kids in the car, you need help, right? But you also become like very self-centered and not really thinking of anybody else. And I feel like there was other things they could have done. But anyways, that's that. So let me see though, what else I've got here. I know there
You
was.
sure didn't want to, Tony, get out of his SpongeBob PJs. I can't really say I blame him.
No. Let me see here. And apparently it was a joint account, by the way, that like they both had. That it was
Hold
both
on.
of theirs. A joint Facebook account. When I see a joint Facebook account, that's just another sign of very toxic relationship. He's search and rescue canine. Have been bogged down with the
Oh
baby
my
being.
gosh, we were just talking about you the other day. That's so cool that you showed up. I was just talking to Allie. I said, hey, have you seen Search and Rescue Canine? I know you guys don't know this about me, but I do pay attention. And I do notice when y'all are not around. But I don't like to be like a psycho about it. And I'll just ask on the low.
Oh,
But I do worry when I don't see you guys. I do.
and I told Jen that you had a sick child and that kind of stuff. And I really hope, I hope that everything's okay. I know it's so stressful going through that. And I will get in touch with you tomorrow sometime. But also, I forgot, before I forget, he tells them at one point to call AAA or something like that.
This is about the time that I popped in this morning. Okay. And I was thinking to myself, bruh, I think I actually put this in Lynn's chat. In fact, I know I did. Bruh, they're living in their car. I highly doubt that they've kept up on their roadside assistant payment. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on.
Yeah, no.
I suppose you could call the non-emergency police, but I guess that would be out of the question for Kayla and Adam. They're not trying to get the law involved.
Yeah. They're not going to do that. They're going to do, I mean, I feel like why not call even Kayla's mom or aunt or family or somebody? Like, if somebody knows that these babies are out in the cold, but they don't want to do that, they're I don't know.
Right. Thank you, Sarah Silva. See, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that very much. See, this would be me. I don't care about me. But I would care about my kids. And I would call my mom. I would call my sister. I would call anybody, really, and just be like, listen, I know you and me, we ain't cool. And I know you don't like what I'm doing and what I'm up to right now, but my kids don't deserve this. That's who I would be begging for. I'll sleep in a damn car. I don't care. But I would not let my kids be there.
I completely agree. Okay, let me look here for a second. What else? There was the tow truck driver that testified as well. A lot of these witnesses, though, it was just pretty brief, on and off for a couple questions. You know what I mean? Nothing and I guess like where we're used to. Kayla's testimony was almost 2 full days.
It was.
That was a lot.
I mean, her direct examination was almost the entire day. Actually, that's not true. He was done with her by lunch, and after lunch is when the cross-examination. But to be fair, she did let the court go early because of Kayla's headache, so it might not have gone so long, but for the migraine.
Sleuth Mom said, I believe that Kayla needed a timeline, that Harmony was alive and had her mom lie. That's interesting. Let's see.
I'm starting to raise an eyebrow at this timeline that's based. I think my main issue is that the timeline is based on something that a lying liar mouth who tells lies says. I mean, she admitted it. It's not like, I'm saying anything, I'm talking out of school or anything like that. Like she's already admitted that. So I'm not saying anything anybody doesn't already know. But I do think that it could potentially be. You got to go, Nay. Well, I love you, babe. Thanks for popping in and checking in. I miss your face. Message me, please, and let me know you're okay. Anyway, it could be potentially problematic if they don't get this timeline down just so.
Right. Well, then there was a couple police officers that testified today. Sorry, Bendy.
Okay.
And
No, babe, you're okay. I said okay.
I think that we have a little delay, but it's okay. But hey, Cooter G.
We always do.
Yeah, it's all right. It doesn't even bother me anymore. No, but I know that they were talking about though, like getting evidence out of the car, and there was also a woman who was like a DNA expert and body serology, body fluid expert. But anyways, they did, make a point. They were talking about Blue Star and bodily fluids and stuff, and then the defense attorney asked, was there any Blue Star reaction in the car, and they said no. Not that, I mean, I don't know if that even makes a point for the defense on the jury's side, because it's not really a claim that there would be blood all over the car or anything like that, but it was a point that was made at one point.
I think that it was mentioned in Kayla's testimony. She did say that Adam had like dried blood on his hands. See, and this is that's when she made that omission. Okay. That is when I started seriously considering that her timeline is incorrect. That she is putting a date on what that she's saying that it was December 7th, and I am not 100%. I think that I don't trust Kayla, and I feel like she has ulterior motives. And she, think about it like this. So all that she's required to do is tell the truth, testify whenever they want her, not omit anything, own up to all of her part, et cetera, right? Okay, but how can she be blamed if the other person, like, or other people like Anthony Badero is saying he didn't see Harmony after that Thanksgiving weekend? He never saw her again. Now, that could be for many reasons. It could be because he was keeping Harmony hidden, like covering her with a blanket. But when you give a ride to somebody to, take them to their car that's stuck on the side of the road or whatever, right? And you know how many kids they have, and one kid is missing, and you don't ask until much later. And then when you do, you get this, cockamamie story, right? It can be problematic, especially because I have a strong suspicion, even though they're not allowed to take notes, they can do what they did in North Carolina, which they did write little things down in the jury room when they were on their breaks.
Right. Oh, interesting. What about when Badero was like they're going back and forth, but when he says like, I just want to help you guys or whatever, and the lawyer's like, help who? Or she doesn't say it like that. She's like, help who? And he's like, the prosecution. Like, not you. Ooh. He's like, I'm trying to help figure out what happened to this little girl.
Right.
Dang it, just because I've got a past, I've got, these driving without a license and them arguing over this charge in 2019 with, were there drugs in the car? Weren't there drugs?
Oh, yes.
He's like, I don't, I'm trying to help find a little missing girl. Just because this guy has a history like that doesn't mean he's not there to do the right thing or whatever. It's Adam and Kayla are the exception. Most addicts would not let their addiction get in the way of, helping a child or things like in a situation.
Correct.
Like this.
Correct. You see, this is what we were talking about last night, you guys. This is their addiction plays a role, 100%. However, it is the type of people who Kayla and Adam are as human beings, like at a cellular level, that is what caused the situation to be the way that it was. Most addicts, which I know seems counterintuitive, right? They're addicted. How can they possibly care about their children? Are they going to win any type of award? No. Okay. I think but they wouldn't do anything they still would take care of their kids to the best of their ability. Not like these people, not
Right.
like Adam, not like Kayla.
And they wouldn't just sit there and keep getting high while a child was literally losing their life in the same vehicle.
Correct.
Like, you might not
Correct.
necessarily put your kids first, because unfortunately you're just gonna lack in ways when you're in active addiction. And so I don't necessarily, I've told you guys before, I just don't think people that are in active addiction need to have custody of little children. You can't
Obviously.
you can't possibly put them first. However, you still wouldn't go to this extreme.
Exactly. I mean, and Ash says it right here. You can be an addict without also being a soulless monster.
Yep.
And that's facts.
So
And-
here are. Oh,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, babe, go ahead. I was actually going to say, okay. And so what were you going to say? But you were already starting to say it.
Well, I was going to tell you, here's one of them. There's several that he's posted, but let me see, actually. How did I want to go back and show the first one. So he says, just to be clear, and this applies to all text I release or released in this case, and this is SF Investigates. We know he is a private investigator. He says, I was in regular contact with the FBI. I had an agent that was assigned as my contact person, and I provided him everything I found. I waited until Kayla was done testifying to release them publicly. Then he says, this is Kayla Montgomery in 2021 trying to sell extra food stamps they had received. Most likely that included food stamps also meant for Harmony as well as other children. She is selling them for both her and Adam's benefit in order to buy drugs. So March 11th, 2021, she says, hey, I have a quick question. Let me know when you have a minute. Do you know someone that wants to buy food stamps for half price? They gave us so many this month, 3,000. I could really use some cash. I'll sell them for half price. Like, if someone wants 100 in food stamps, I'll do 50 cash. And then whatever.
Wait a minute. And this was in 2020, right?
2021.
No. Oh.
Mm-hmm. March 11th, 2021.
Okay.
But some of the messages might be from 2020. I don't know, because I sent them to you earlier, but I haven't
Well, I was thinking about how they got so much, and I was curious about, because I know during the pandemic, I'll take the state of Florida. If you had a child enrolled in school, those children got $300 a month for like 3 months in food stamps. Even if you weren't.
They did that for a while, though, Jen. That was an ongoing thing for like a year or so. So I bet you that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't think it was. Is it? Okay. So you guys, if you can't see it, what you got to do is hit the settings on your tap your screen and hit the settings button and turn the quality up. If you're having trouble seeing it.
It could be the internet. Let me go. I'm going to walk next door back to my house with the computer with you guys, because my internet's better.
Okay.
But there's a few more texts too, but I'll get those once we get over here so you can see them anyway.
The other thing, and I forgot to mention this last night, but that I was thinking about last night, but I forgot to say something about it, is how Kayla was she was very adamant, and it was a sticking point for her. It was something that she would not back down from, which was that nobody was really crying in the car, especially the boys, right? And I'm thinking to myself, they're admitting to using crack and heroin, okay? And crack, so if they're smoking crack in a vehicle, they're essentially hotboxing a car, right? With babies in the car, children in the car. There's no way they didn't cry. You know what I mean?
I thought about the same thing. I'm like, wait a minute. Because they're smoking everything right there. And it's cold outside. And they're doing like, oh my God. I thought about the same thing. It's just so sad. It is so freaking sad.
I also thought that, didn't they bang as well? Inject?
I don't know, Jen. I don't remember. I know that they were smoking some of it, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm. I couldn't remember whether they were IV uses or not. I mean, I know for sure with the crack. I guess you can shoot crack too. You can shoot anything you really.
Yeah,
But
you can shoot crack. Yeah,
yeah,
but they were
you can.
smoking crack. But
Okay, Little Red is our clerk of court, and she is going to be researching these the procedural rules, the criminal procedure rules. It's kind of hard to. I went over there to look at them before too for something else, and so Little Red says I'm in New Hampshire procedural rules. I need to take time to find case law on death with presumed date. So thank you very much, Lil Red, for your excellent
I will say,
reporting.
not to get
Hmm.
like into the chemistry of it, but to shoot crack, if they were doing that, it's a little difficult. Like you got to do mixed vinegar. There's all kind. It's not just like cocaine with water or other drugs that you mix with water.
Right.
There's you have to like break it back down. But are we frozen? KPM said. I don't know. What do you guys see? What do you see
No,
on the
we're not,
screen,
because
Jen?
I'm watching. Well, I'm watching us on YouTube. I always
Oh,
have YouTube up. We're fine.
oh, awesome. Okay.
We look
Well, here's
adorable.
another text, and it is
And we sound
this is
smart.
Adam. This is Adam Montgomery trying to sell their dog after receiving the eviction notice. He wants to make sure, quote, she is taken care of, unquote, and, quote, gets what she needs, unquote, but he will kill Harmony with his bare hands 3 months later. Other texts show family urged Adam to send Harmony to Florida. And here he says, hey, love. I mean, he says it's Adam, but does Adam say love? I don't know, but apparently the person says, hey, loved, do you know anyone who would buy my dog? And they say, your actual dog? Yes, we need to find a place for her because we're not going to be able to take her with us. We have 28 days to get out of here. OMG, and no place is going to want her. Is there anything wrong with him? Yeah, the sheriffs came to the house a couple of days ago and served us the paper. No, she's awesome and trained and a big cuddle bug. We just want to make sure she's taken care of. And something LIE and gets what she needs. She's awesome with kids. We've had her since the week before Seamus came home. She was a baby also, and she's great with kids. She's our baby.
Okay, here's what my problem was with all of that. Okay. The first response from the person is your actual dog. Now, I admit that I'm an old head, and I'm sure that euphemisms for things have changed, but I cannot recall a euphemism for any type of illicit substance that you would call a dog. That's just me. That doesn't mean there isn't one, but I found that a little disconcerting. Like, what are we talking about here? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know they call like heroin dog food, so I don't know. I don't know what the dog is, honestly, but
Yeah.
I don't think that I've ever heard that as a.
I thought they called it dog chow.
I don't know. I heard people call it dog food. I don't know though. That's
Dog
just
food?
what I've heard.
Okay.
Okay, so then here he says, just days after watching Adam kill Harmony, Kayla is complaining to a then friend that their transmission went out on the 6th. Appears that was really the 7th, and her mom will only let them stay until January 2nd. When asked about her kids, she thanks God they have the kids. I gave plus about 100 more to the FBI around 18 months ago. And we see Kayla says, we got addicted the day before blank. The person says, where are you now? And our car's transmission went out on the 6th. We're at my mom's. So here Kayla says it's the 6th, but that's interesting. So both no jobs and no car, but she's only giving us until the 2nd of January. Oh my God, at least you're at a safe place. Babe, I'm so sorry to hear that. What the F? You have kids. She says, yeah, we have our kids. Thank God. That's what he circled, which is bullshit because I have my appointment on the way home on January 8th and January 20th.
Okay, so this is interesting. And it's starting to click to me why Miss Bootleg Elaine Smith is saying the things that she's saying. This makes more sense about the line of questioning from yesterday. Because
that's interesting.
because she was trying to get to pin Kayla down. And if SF investigates, which I have no reason to believe that he's not done, that he's not turned these over, he must have. I actually, be based especially on the line of questioning yesterday, I do think that these have been turned over, and I do think that Mrs. Bootleg Elaine Smith has seen these, and that is why she was getting why she was going where she was going yesterday with the questioning, and really trying to pin Kayla down on the 6th. That it happened earlier than Kayla said it did, that it wasn't actually on the 7th, that the whole incident took place on the 6th, early in the morning. And it almost seems like, if you put all of it together, if you put Kayla's mom, if you put these texts, it almost seems like, and then Anthony Badero's testimony, it almost seems like everything surrounding the car happened on the 6th. Yes, Michelle. Okay. Well, her real name is, I forget what her first name is.
Caroline,
Smith Smith is her name. Caroline Smith. And, but she, to me, really reminds me of Elaine Betancourt from, the Depp Heard trial. And so to me, with her little haircut and everything, and, the way she questions, witnesses also is very reminiscent of Elaine. So I call her, Bootleg Elaine, but it's a little bit disrespectful. So I'm trying to be better about it. It's not that nice. I shouldn't. It's not her fault that she's a public defender. It's not her fault.
Your mic keeps doing like the demon thing you were talking about.
I don't know what that is about. It's hooked up the way it should be. I don't know what to do.
That's all right. It only does it for like even when it does it. So like, say you're in the middle of a sentence and it'll just do it during like half of one word. So we can still really clearly hear.
Maybe that's what my problem is. Maybe I have a debuk. Maybe it's me. Maybe that's why I'm having so many struggles. She's just doing her job. It's not her fault.
Right.
It's not her fault.
I know. But do you think? Go ahead.
Can you do the stream for a minute? I'm having just a moment. Just you know
Absolutely,
what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll put it in the private chat. Okay.
Okay. Do you guys think that she is a good lawyer? You guys in the chat. What would your Dybbuk's name be, Jen? We'll have to see when she comes back what it would be. But I was thinking today when I was listening to her, I'm like, and there are some really great attorneys that work as public defenders. Look at Brian Koberger's attorney, but I don't know. I'm just curious what you guys think, because I don't know. Kaleida Hope, no. Cat keeps on, not the greatest in my honest opinion. I think she's okay. I think like there's so many times where she could have made really good points and it just falls short. She is doing her job, she hasn't helped Adam so far, says Ange. I think she knows what she's doing, but she has a very bad delivery, says Mayla's mom. I agree, because it's like certain times you're like, okay, she's about to make a point. Like, I see what you're doing here. I see what you're doing. And then boom, nope. Never mind. Don't see what you're doing at all. That's like how it is watching. I don't find her style effective. Her voice is grating. She takes a long time to get to her point. Personally, I don't care for her. Lil Red says, I think she's a good lawyer. And her misquotes, etc., I think she's doing on purpose to trip them up. If they agree with her mistake, then who lied? Well, you guys seen today, if you watched over on my channel when I went through Kayla's deal, like if she does lie, even if she lies by omission, she's gonna be in a lot of trouble. And she has to participate in everything against Adam, whether it's pre-trial, retrial, during the appeal, just anywhere possible during this case, any other cases, federal cases. She has to participate if they want her to. She has signed that agreement. So no, she's a good lawyer procedurally, but her courtroom style turns people off. I agree, Neat Noodle. Her style is awful, and her voice is like nails on a chalkboard. She drives me crazy. I don't get her. Oh, I don't like her. Okay. I don't know, you guys. It's definitely been already quite the ride, and we are not that far in if you think about it. Like, we still have a lot to go. I know there were, and Lynn mentioned like 75 witnesses, but I feel like they whittled that down to say like around 50, right? Am I remembering that wrong? And then we have 2 witnesses that could potentially be called for the defense, but we learned last night that one of those 2 is the foster mom, Michelle Rafferty. She's not keeping the jury's attention, I'd guess. I wonder if they're disassociating. The constant repeating drives me crazy with that lawyer. Clicker, I know I said thank you, but I want to say thank you again for sending that and being so good to me. And I just appreciate it so much. I'm definitely very lucky, and I can't wait to dig into those. Pointer Lover says she's so distracting to me. Christina, she does have a good personality, and she doesn't have a great delivery. That's okay, Bendy. You're doing great, and I definitely get it. Doesn't have a good personality. I've seen it in courtrooms before that if the jury hates the attorney, they often take it out on the client. See, that's a problem. And I thought about that too. Like, I had a similar thought to that. I thought, if she's not likable, like if she was more likable, would that affect the outcome of this? And I think that it will. It's unfortunate because it should be about the rules, right? And following things to a T, procedure, evidence, things like that. But at the end of the day, we're only human, and so are the jurors. Aries Girl says, I have a cardiology appointment tomorrow morning and will miss half of tomorrow. So I appreciate those who take notes. Aries Girl, tomorrow we'll be doing it on my channel again. And I'm going to do better than I did today about notes, because I have to admit that I slacked today. I still try to get screenshots of all the witnesses and things, but I've just been feeling funky, you guys. So I've been a little bit off, honestly. Riley says, I think her softer style when questioning sensitive witnesses, but when she tries to be firm, it is so incredibly annoying. Hey, Kezchick. Right, so she needs to be careful not to alienate the jury. Well, for the defense's sake, that is. Love you, Woofy. Night.
I might have a dark passenger, Riley. Who knows? I'm back. Okay. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I just had the worst hot flash, you guys. Sitting here doing absolutely nothing, and I got so hot that I couldn't even think. That's why I was all stuttering around and couldn't like talk or make a sentence. I'm sorry. I had to go outside where it's not even really hot in the house, but it's much cooler outside. So I had to stand outside for a minute so I could try to cool off. Okay. I'm so sorry. Oh my God. That's my life. Thank you, Allie, for taking over and being a good friend. You're a good girl. You're a good egg, babe. I love you and I appreciate you. I think I might have just lost her too. Are you there, Allie? I think I did. Whew, okay. So, I low-key, I have a chest freezer and it's empty. And there have been times when I have seriously considered getting in that thing because it's so dadgum hot, because I get so dadgum hot. And, oh wait, hold on. Here we go. Okay. Because I was getting so dadgum hot, and I was like, but then my husband was like, I think that is probably, too extra, for you. And I actually think that might cause you to go into shock or something. Let me tell you. Okay, Linda, it right now in the Floridas, it is, oh, it says 68 tomorrow. I don't know what it is right now. Hold on, let me click it and see what it says. Anyway, so that's not the topic we're supposed to be talking about. And I don't know if you heard me, Allie, but thank you for holding it down. I appreciate you doing that. I had a little bit of a, whew, okay.
Oh, you're so
Anyway.
welcome. And sorry, you joined back on perfect timing because my computer died like right after you came back on. So good thing that didn't happen before.
Okay, so let me tell you what it is currently. Currently, it's about 57 degrees. I don't know KPM. I don't know, but during the Super Bowl, there was a commercial for hot flashes and for some new medication they have for them. And my husband was like, babe, what about this? Well, everything was sounding just fine and dandy until they started talking about the side effects. And let me just tell you this, I'd rather have the hot flashes than the side effects. I don't care. It is what it is, because I guess it's not hormonal or whatever but it causes a lot of not good side effects. But that's not the point. Let's get into the topic.
Hey,
my
but
God.
you know what, Jen? It's real life. It happens. Many of the people, our community, at least my channel, is like 90% women. So I think that people can relate to that. And you know what? I don't look forward to menopause, but I freeze. Like I am so cold-blooded. I freeze. I have to have like a heater running all the time, heated blankets, all the things. So part of me is like, oh, I can't wait until I'm warm
I
inside
used to
because
be
I'm
like that
cold.
too. I used to be like that too. I used to need but what's weird about it is I have always needed a fan. Always. Even it could be negative 11 billion degrees outside, and I need to have a fan on. I need that noise that the fan makes, and I need the movement of the air.
Yeah.
And so in
Yeah.
the wintertime, I just make it go backwards, right? So it doesn't blow down on you. But now that I'm going through all of this business, like y'all, I have the ceiling fan and like a standing fan, and it's just it's so bad. It's so bad.
That's funny. No,
Oh,
but so many people relate, and so I think that that's so cool.
yeah, I do too. I mean, I'm glad we're all going through it together, y'all. Like I have these fans on takeoff speed, but it's whatever at this point. And okay. So now that we got through that, thank you guys for being supportive. And we're all going through it together. You know, my main one of my mission statements at the ward is that nobody suffers alone, and we are definitely not suffering alone, and I appreciate that, you guys.
It's what makes the YouTube live chat communities so awesome. It's like the community part of it, you know?
It is. I'm so lucky to have all of you guys. Now, should we do Anthony Badero on Cross, or should we do Anthony Badero on Direct? Which do you guys want to hear? What do you think, Allie? Cross? Okay,
Cross.
let me skip. Okay. All right, let me get to it. It's stuck.
Aries girl, I hope everything goes okay tomorrow, and keep me posted.
Me too, Aries girl.
Cross. Everyone's like, yes, the cross.
Cross.
Cross was way more entertaining.
I like how Miss Smith like leans against the podium when she's asking her questions. I don't know why I find her entertaining in a way, but excuse me, super annoying in another. Let me find that.
I wonder though, is she causing any reasonable doubt? I don't know if she's causing it, but I think Kayla is causing it herself, because opinions are all over. I'm seeing it more now than even yesterday, what I said yesterday. But today I was looking, even that channel Crime Catalyst posted, and she's like, I am not buying this. I don't believe her story. I think there's more. I wonder if Kayla herself is going to. And look, I know that
It does make you wonder. It makes you
does.
wonder.
And you know that it shouldn't, right? It shouldn't cause that effect because Adam's on trial, and we're here
Right.
for Adam's trial, but you can't help it.
Right. That's the problem, is that if that what the state and I'm super curious what Lil Red comes up with when looking at the procedures and the case law, because I'm very curious what their burden of proof actually is. Do they have to prove that Harmony died on a very specific date?
I
Okay,
want to
think
know that
got
too.
it.
I'll look forward to the
He's
answer.
making a face,
Mayla's
and I
mom
do
said,
remember him making a face.
I was listening to Checkmate Human or to Disorder in the Court, but I was not watching chat the whole time.
Right?
Yes.
And I heard her like saying, "Oh gosh, he's rolling his eyes. He's rolling his eyes like now he's made a face."
That's how I know, because I heard Disorder in the Court say, he's made a face. He's making a face.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Danielle, this is it right here. This is the problem. She said, no, it can and should cause that effect. If you honestly doubt her credibility, there's no eyewitness, there's no video, there's no confession. Her credibility is everything. And you're right. You're right. And I'm with you, Lil Red. I want to know what it actually says. This can't be the only time there has been a no body case with an unspecified death date. Absolutely. This is what we need to get to. This is a problem. All right. So here we go. Let's start. Are we ready, Allie?
Yes, ma'am.
Did I lose you again? Okay, good. Okay, here we go.
And that you had the right
No,
to
we're just
refuse
delayed.
any answer in the grand jury, but only if that answer would incriminate you. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that, no.
Okay. Let me show you a copy of a transcript of your grand jury, okay?
Sure.
So first of all, that was a long time ago, right?
Yes.
And does March 21 of 2022 sound about right?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to show you a copy of, you can see on the outside, grand jury proceedings, right?
Yes.
About the disappearance of Harmony Montgomery.
Yes.
And you were sworn in at the beginning of the grand jury, right?
Yes.
And I want you to go through and I'm going to take you from the bottom of page 3 into page 4 and ask you to read that to yourself, okay? And then I'm going to ask you a question.
You said bottom of page 3?
Into page 4.
Where's the bottom? From here? From
Sure,
here?
sure. Why don't you do that?
The channel Dolly Vision has also been in court and witnessing all of this. And I caught his live the other night, and he was talking about Miss Smith. And apparently, I think that's who he was talking about, but he was going on about somebody wearing running shoes. And it just tripped him out, and he couldn't take it. And it was funny. It just was one of those you had to be there kind of moments. You know? I mean, I don't
I need to
understand
go check out what he
skip
said
forward
about
a
it.
little bit. Yeah, it's pretty. His commentary, I'm not going to lie, it's pretty funny. I feel like his commentary is very similar to what my commentary would be if I were like, live in the courtroom.
Well, while you were in the grand jury, you were advised that you had the right to refuse to answer a question if it might incriminate you, right?
From what it says here, yes, I guess. I just don't remember.
Okay, that's fine. And it says that, yes, you understood, right?
He just said that. What is your deal?
You also said you lied to the grand jury, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
And being advised that you had the right to refuse to answer a question or you had the right to an attorney, you chose to lie under oath.
I didn't know that I was going to need an attorney.
Okay.
So I agreed to answer their questions.
So when the question came up to something that would incriminate you, you chose to lie rather than ask for an attorney, right?
I got scared and I didn't think about what they told me about asking for an attorney.
Sure. And you were scared because they thought you had information about Harmony, right?
Yes.
And you didn't want anything to do with this, right?
Of course.
You didn't want to be implicated in this in any way at all, right?
No.
Okay.
Who would be?
So,
I mean,
I'm going to switch gears a little bit here.
oh, for fuck's sake.
Talked about meeting Adam because you needed a ride to court.
Yes.
And you didn't have a license that day, right?
No.
Have you ever had a license?
No.
You did not have a license in November of 2019 then, right?
No.
I mean, if he never had a driver's license,
never
then
had
that
one.
would include
Never had one,
2019.
exactly.
Excuse me. And you didn't have one in December of 2019?
No.
Okay. And
Didn't either. Nope.
in one of the prior convictions,
I mean,
I think that
isn't that implied? If you've never had a license, then I think never would include 2019, right? Never would be that would be a year, right?
possession of a controlled drug.
She asked
in
the most
2018.
ridiculous. What the frack is happening here with the internet that I pay too much for?
I don't know, but Bendy, give me like 30 to 60 seconds and I'll be right back.
All right, babe. I will not address you for 30 to 60 seconds. Hold on, you guys. Give me just a second. I'm going to fix it.
Yes.
And that was actually possession with intent to sell, right? Or dispense.
Yes. I don't remember. I don't recall.
Okay. If I showed you a copy of the record of that conviction, would that help refresh your recollection?
Maybe.
Okay.
I can't make it make sense, Ange. Listen,
And I'll show
I'm
you
fantastic
what
at finding a loophole.
Certified copy.
I can't find the
of
loophole in
a conviction returned from Superior Court, state prison sentence for Anthony Badero, right?
Yes.
And January 12, 2018,
That's when I was released.
that was the day you were sentenced. Well, actually, okay.
I got released as well.
Yeah, because you were actually in jail pre-trial, and the day you got sentenced, you got a
Okay.
suspended sentence, and they released you.
How released? All I know is they let me go.
Okay.
He wasn't paying attention to that.
So you got a
look,
sentence of
look here, Miss Smith. Here's the deal. He wasn't paying attention, and here's why. Because he sat in jail waiting for his trial. So by the time it comes up for his, for all of the things, he'd already been sitting for a minute. So, come on. Like, what is the point here? Adam was a drug user. Kayla was a drug user. Anthony was a drug dealer. I don't understand what you're having an issue with here. Like, what is the point? If he is a drug dealer, then chances are he's been popped a few times, right? For drug dealing, right? So what is your point here? This is ridiculous. I don't even know. She just, a rock painting lady, I don't understand some of these details that she insists on, like, honing in on and drilling down on for literally zero reason.
It's only hurting their case. Honestly, it's not helping.
Exactly. Listen, I'll quit calling you bootleg Elaine, but if you will please listen to what I'm telling you as somebody who has watched a great many trials, okay? And if there was such a thing as a professional juror, that is a job I would love to have. You're losing this jury and you're annoying them. Get to the point, ma'am. Your client's still guilty and he's going to be found guilty, but you don't have to make it painful for everybody. Okay? Sheesh. Here we go.
3 to 6 years with all but 92 days suspended. Does that sound right?
Sure.
No. I believe it was the 92 whatever days time served and then suspended time after.
Right. Okay. I may have said it wrong because I have gotten a little bit tired. So it was 3 to 6 years as a sentence.
Elaine, you want
All
5 hour energy?
Except for the 92 days that you had already served.
Yes.
So when you mean you got released, you were held on bail before the conviction, and the day you got sentenced, you were let out.
Well, they picked me up from a state prison. I did a bit in a state prison. They picked me up. I did 92 days here in Valley Street, and then I got released.
Gotcha. Okay. And so then you had a suspended sentence hanging over your head of 3 to 6.
I see what her point
minus
is.
that 92 days.
Yes.
Okay. And that was suspended for 3 years.
Okay, I think I can't even believe I'm saying this. This is her point that she's not making. But I actually think what she's trying to say here is that it was in his best interest to work with the state and say what they wanted him to say. This is what she's trying to imply, because he already had a suspended sentence, right? If you have been convicted of something and they've suspended part of your sentence, if you get caught doing anything else, but particularly if it's the same type of crime, then that suspended sentence goes out the window and you finna do all your time plus whatever it is that you got caught doing currently.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I think that's
Yes,
what
and
her
I
point
agree.
is. But do you see how I didn't go to college? Y'all, I have a good enough diploma and I broke it down and I give Miss America answers. Lord knows I'm the worst. So if I can break it down in a minute maybe, why can't she?
Well, that's the thing. It's that I understand the point she's making about the suspended sentence this time over, hanging over his head. However,
Right.
where she loses me so often is like, he says he's never had a license. Did you have a license on this date? Did you have a license on this date? What about this date? You know what I mean? So it's just like those little points where I'm just like,
Exactly. It's like, listen, I never had a license, never in the history of ever, which would include the years 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, and now 2024. That's never in the ever. Sheesh. Come on, ma'am. Like, you don't got to torture us. And if you're getting tired, which, listen, we're all tired at this point, maybe speed it up a little.
Right.
Maybe just hit the highlight reel.
Well, I think she
All right,
might
here
make
we
some
go.
points
Okay.
for some of the jurors, but she's going to lose some of them too. You know what I mean? That's just
Yeah,
the
she
truth.
is. Yeah, she is.
It's unfortunate, but for her, but it's
It is
the truth.
unfortunate.
Okay.
Why are they not? Why is she not letting the other guy do any talking? She let him do the opening. You know where she would be. You know where she would be really well suited. Not so much arguing in front of a jury, but doing appellate work, where she would be arguing in front of doing, making the details and the timelines and the filings and all of that, and arguing in front of the justices. That's where she would be better suited. She'd be better suited for appellate
Yes.
court if you want to know the
And
truth.
before you pause, I just want to read something before it goes. Oh, it was so funny. It
Oh.
was Lou's mom. Let me find it. Oh, okay. She says, I know there are a lot of things that I didn't think made sense. And then later she was basically saying that, she pulls it together. She's going to tie up the loose ends. But then she said, she is like a super monotonous ninja when it comes to tripping people up or leading them into her points.
Oh my God.
Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
She does kind of remind me of Sally Jesse Raphael, but but the thing that she's missing is Sally's glasses. See, when Sally was fixing to ask a real throat-off question to one of her guests on the panel, the first thing she would do was with her thumb and her forefinger, her pointer finger, adjust and bring her glasses up, like off the bridge of her nose. She'd raise them up so that they fit better. And you knew that as soon as she lowered her hand from her glasses, something real thrown off. She was about to ask a real uncomfortable question. And that was my favorite part of Sally.
That's so funny. Okay.
And stop walking away talking to people. Get over there to the mic.
November 22nd, 2009.
Look at Carol Claus over here. She's fixing to have a name as long as yours, Carol Claus. Come on, catch up, StreamYard. Sally Barbara Elaine is her name. That's it. All right, here we go. Here we go. This is where it's going to get spicy.
Drug conviction, sorry.
Say that again. When?
November 22nd, 2019, you got convicted on another charge.
No,
Okay.
This part.
that's wrong.
He argues this up until the end, and then she's like, well, here, for the jury, so you can see what I'm looking at when you go to it. This part was interesting, though.
Bless it. He's listening very intently, and that's why I kind of can't take my hand. I could skip this, but the way how intently he is listening has just got me a little bit mesmerized here. Oh, do you disagree? And they didn't dismiss him from his subpoena either. They didn't release him from his subpoena. So I can't even be like, oh, hey,
another certified copy of another conviction, okay?
What was his street name? Tone. I
can show you repentance, November 22nd, 2019.
Sorry, I don't know anything about that. The last time I did time for drugs I came home in 2018.
Sure, because on this one you got a total 2 to 4 suspended. Do you remember that?
No, I don't.
Okay. And your attorney was
Tone Capone.
Attorney Sheehan?
Yeah, that was from the
When you're
old
released
case.
from your
That's
subpoena.
I have it confused.
Okay.
It can't be 2019 because I never got caught with drugs anything after 2018.
Okay, so let's take a look at this. On June 24, 2019, you were driving without a valid license, right?
That, yes.
And while you were driving without a valid license, they found drugs in your car.
No.
No.
Basis.
Oh my God. It's like, nope, you're not going to get me to say something that I didn't do. Where are you going with this, ma'am? Hold on, I'm going to skip. Well, they're really taking a time on this sidebar. This is worse than when Kayla said what she said.
Maybe we'll take away because I'll focus
Thank
on
you.
something else now, okay?
No problem.
So I have in front of me what's been marked as a full exhibit.
Well, look how she's just leaning up
a certified
on the
copy
witness
of your
box like
conviction
that.
From November 22nd, 2019. That second page is the sentence that you got on that conviction, right?
I see what you have there, but that's not what it was for. I was got caught driving without a license.
Okay. And
Oh my goodness.
You got, according to this document, you got a sentence of 2 to 4 years, suspended for 3 years, right? That means that 2 over your head for 3 years.
Yes.
Free and commit no new crimes and stuff like that, right?
Yes.
And another conviction was that you got a laid back evaluation
A what? Hold on.
in 60 days, provide proof to the state, right?
What's late at?
Drug and alcohol evaluation.
What is
Do you remember
happening?
that?
We didn't hear any of that, Jen.
Okay. So now we're going to go to is for activities that you did on or about June 24, 2000, it says.
Yes.
And the activity.
All right, I'm skipping a little bit because this is driving me nuts.
And it states exhibit for ID 22. Is it stricken? It's fine. I would agree if it wasn't. Was in the same condition as the last time you saw it, right?
Yes.
Because the last time you saw it, it had been sitting for a while.
It was worse. It was worse.
Okay. But when you had it at Colonial Village, it was in good condition.
Yes.
It was in real good condition.
Very good condition.
This is Audie they're talking about.
You like to drive it around.
Yes.
And in November.
Yeah, I am frustrated and I don't. Is it lagging for you guys? Allie, is it lagging and cutting out for you? All right, hold on. Let me see if I can get it to like catch up a little bit so it won't buffer so much.
I lost you for a second. But while you're doing that, Mayla's mom sent a statistic that was pretty interesting. She said it says, and this is older research, like 10 years old, but still, it's so.
Okay.
It has the person's name, but the last name is kind of hard to pronounce. So I'll just say this is a former assistant U.S. attorney in Washington, D.C., and they compiled a database of so-called of all so-called no-body murder trials in U.S. history. They noted that of the 378 trials, there were approximately 42 dismissals, mistrials, acquittals, or reversals on appeal, which means an 89% conviction rate. That was 10 years ago, though, so, it could be slightly different now, but still, that is pretty high, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. I think the thought process when somebody commits this type of crime, right, is that if there is no body, there is no crime. However, that's not the case, and not always. Like I think that had they not found, um, I still think that she would have been convicted.
Okay, so Lil Red had sent me this thing with, I'm gonna send it to you, Jen, to Messenger, and then if you want to read it, you can. It's kind of long, or I can read it if you want. However, I think you'd do better at reading this because it's
All right, I'll read it.
it's called something, a corpus. It's something that I can't pronounce. I'll be honest with you.
All right, let me run and go get my charger because my phone is at 10%, and I'll be right back, and then I'll read it. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Okay. But yeah, Danielle had mentioned that how at one point Badero says he doesn't let anybody drive his car, but then at another point he admits to Adam driving him a couple times, and she goes into because Adam can drive a stick, right? And he's like, yeah. So he, they've all gotten tripped up a little bit. There you go, Cray. That's what it says. The Dybbuk is back. You guys, I'm outside and it is freezing. Danielle says also, he said they came over separately to get drugs. Then he said they were always together. I think this is a point the defense is going to hit on later. He probably knows of times Kayla was alone with Harmony. You guys, I'm going to have to be on hold too as well. I hope she gets back soon because Bentley he woke up and he's sick. So I'll be right back as well, you guys. Just 1 second.
Okay. So let's see what we have here. Okay. All right. All right. So Low Red says, so this is what I can find so far, but this relates to what you need to file the charge and bring to trial. Still looking for case law. A no body homicide prosecution seems similar to other murder prosecutions, except the prosecutor must demonstrate the likelihood that the victim no longer is alive. Poor syntax. This often proves a difficult but not impossible prosecutorial challenge in a homicide case. The corpus delicti, main body or element of the offense, consists of proof that an unlawful death has occurred. 9. The corpus delicti does not mean that the subject of the crime must be so extant as to fall under the senses, but that the loss sustained is felt and known. For example, in the crime of murder, although the body cannot be located, particular loss is identified. 10. The body itself provides the best evidence of an unlawful death. However, other ways exist to determine that a person died. Many homicide prosecutors often base their case on circumstantial evidence. 11. They must establish 1. That the victim died, 2. That the victim was murdered, 3. The approximate time of death, 4. That the likely location of the crime is within the prosecutor's jurisdiction, and 5. That the person is responsible for murder. 12. In one particular case, the judge determined that, quote, the fact that a murderer may successfully dispose of a victim's body does not entitle the offender to an acquittal. This illustrates one form of success for which society has no reward. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's a good point, Ash, but I want to just get into this a little bit more in depth. This is kind of a common misnomer. This is not exactly incorrect, but it's not all the way correct. So what happened in the Casey Anthony trial is that when they did the jury instructions, there was not a special instruction to the jury that told the jurors that they did not have to find or understand how Kaylee died or know how Kaylee died in order to prove murder, in order to find Casey Anthony guilty. It was because of it was due to the fact that there was not a special instruction for the jurors. And so when the jury was deliberating and they were trying to understand how to they wanted to find her guilty, but because there wasn't that special instruction, they didn't understand that they didn't need to know. The state wasn't required to prove how she died in order to prove that it was a homicide. That's what I'm trying to say. And I think that exactly, they had a body. It wasn't, and that was the problem. Because I distinctly remember when Casey Anthony's new documentary came out, the judge who presided over her case explained it. And he said that one of the common misconceptions is that that the state failed to prove that, or the state failed to prove how her cause of death. Okay. And what he said is the state was not required to prove her cause of death, only that the manner of death was homicide, and that there wasn't a special instruction. And so the jurors didn't understand, and they found the way they found. So anyway, that's how that goes. But I mean, this is not going to be, I mean, I guess if it's approximate, then it's approximate. So anyway, what do you think, Allie? The jurors did want a literal cause of death, but it wasn't something that was required by the state to prove, but the jury did not know that. Had there been had there been that instruction included in the instructions about finding what was required to find Casey Anthony guilty, had that been included, and it could have been, it just wasn't. But had it been included, they would have they would have been able to okay. They would have been able to, thank you, Christina. They would have been, I think they would have found her guilty. I think they just didn't, it happens sometimes. It's hard. Jury instructions are not all that straightforward, like people might think they are. Hey, Petunia.
Well,
I'm
I'm back
starting
now,
at the
but
beginning. Oh, okay.
while you were getting your charger,
Yes.
Bentley got sick, and I told
Oh
the chat I'll be
no.
right back. Well, then I meant to put in the private chat, but I accidentally put it in the main chat, and I didn't have time to delete it and put it in private
Well,
chat
don't
or
worry about
anything. I just typed really fast, like Bentley's throwing up. I'll be right back.
Oh, bless
But
your
I got
heart.
him
Is he
cleaned up
okay?
and he's laying back down. But he's okay. It's just,
Mm.
for one, the antibiotics are tough on his stomach, but also all the drainage and stuff from his ears and
Mm-hmm.
nose and mouth, gags him. But anyways,
Did you get him some Activia or, some yogurt and give him
I
a
got him.
little,
Yeah, I got him
the
taken care of. I got
probiotic?
him a cup
Okay.
and then
Okay.
cleaned up. Well, I'll
Okay.
give him the probiotics. He takes probiotics every day, anyways,
Oh,
as
good.
well. But until he's off the antibiotic, I don't think, I'll have to give him. He's still taking them, but I don't know if I think that they get canceled out by that antibiotic. So whenever he gets done with it, they will definitely be helpful, to make his
Bless his
tummy
little
better. But
heart. Poor,
I
poor,
know,
poor
stressful.
kiddo.
Oh my God. But I was
It
listening to you
is.
read it because I have earbuds in. So while you were talking and I was cleaning him up and the floor and the bed, I could still
God
hear
love you.
you. But
See, that's what a
anyways,
mom does. Cleans up her baby. Kayla, piece of shit.
yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
we've been on here for a minute. You think we should just get off of here?
well, I
Think we
think
should
we're
just end
almost
it?
at
Do you
2
guys feel?
hours. Is
Yeah.
there
I mean, do you
anything
guys
else
feel
that
like?
you wanted to?
Not really. Not really. Not that I can think of. I mean,
Yeah, me neither.
I can't. I mean, I can't think of any. All I'll say is this, you guys. It's not over. Okay. And I really. I still think that none of this, nothing that, although the timeline is an issue, and for us, because what we want to know is very, very different than what the jury is required to do. Okay. We have been following this case. We know the backstory, right? The jury has no idea that anything is amiss. Okay. None. But we know because we're privy to information that the jury is not privy to yet. Okay. And so, what I really do think is, at best, what they've done, what the defense has done, is only prove that.
Oh my, Jen, the Dybbuk took all your words. We couldn't hear any
Did
of
it?
that.
Dadgummit.
But yeah,
I don't
it was.
understand.
Now
I
you
don't.
sound normal, but
I don't know what's going on. Okay, so what I'm saying is, I think, is it that again?
it started, but it came back. Like I thought, I was like, oh no, because we heard. So what I was saying is, and then it went and it did it, and I was like, no.
All right.
But then you came right
Talk.
back.
Let me see.
Okay, you talk, and I'll tell you.
Allie.
Sounds okay right this second. Go ahead, and if it stops, I'll tell you. She's muted. I was writing back. I've learned a lot. Congratulations. That is freaking awesome. Danielle says the shift point, I think she was trying to prove Harmony was alone with Kayla, because if Adam was there, he wouldn't have let the battery run because he knew how it worked. Oh, Danielle, that went right over my head. That's why she asked, because Adam knows how to drive a stick, right? And because she makes the point, because if it's a clutch and you do it wrong or whatever, then the battery will die. I'm so glad you pointed that out, because I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. The stick shift, not squick shift. I figured it out eventually, but that is such a good point. I was way behind in the chat, and I don't know because that was a long time ago. But Bendy, are you there? Maybe need to take his antibiotics with food. He might have to, cray cray. It's like it doesn't start until he's so far into the, the process of the antibiotics, like weekend. My question is on or about a particular month, year, not a specific date. Just curious on how they will handle it. You have a great night too, Shauna. Thank you for being here. Bendy, he wasn't there when the car died. Is that right? I thought he was there. But I think she's trying to show that maybe he wasn't there. Or I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Because that's after anyways. Because that happened, that night. Do you think Adam will take the stand? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think usually, people don't because that's in their best interest. But in this case, I'm not sure. But he's not even showing up at this point, which at first I thought it was there. I don't know. I'm changing my mind nonstop about it, actually. That's why I'm like, this annoying defense attorney, I swear, has a method to her tomfoolery. I think that you're right, Danielle. I just wonder if her method, it's smart. However, it's annoying to people that are listening, right? Or for lack of a better word. I think that it can almost make the jurors like space out a little bit. But I do think that she has a method to her madness. Jen? Wonder what's going on, you guys. Thank you, Chase. It definitely does suck. There's nothing worse than your kid being sick. It's just worrisome. Like, the worry. MK says, I think he's a fool to take the stand, but doesn't mean I wouldn't like to see it if he does. I agree. I always want to hear the person testify. Remember with like Lori Vallow, she was going back and forth. Like they said, 1 minute she wanted to, the next she didn't. With Tisha, I remember wondering if she would. That she would, but thank you, Megan. Oh, now I'm the only one up here. I don't think Adam will take the stand, says Pointer Lover. I think Adam is a coward, Tony says. He won't. How can you believe habitual liars? That's what she is after. Well, you know what? I think that she doesn't even have to work to prove that, because most people, 90% of people, are looking at the situation, at least walking away knowing that Kayla lies, right? The perjury charges say that, show that, and then everything else just adds on to it. To point the finger at Kayla, he would have to take the stand. It would be his only way. I agree, because maybe not if she would have gotten into more like direct testimony with Kayla, like about her being alone with Harmony or something like that, that would have shown, like, at least, I don't know. I think that she could have went a little further with her testimony with Kayla, and potentially he could get away with not testifying and still creating reasonable doubt. However, now I think that there has to be like another version of events, right? Like a detailed version that lines up with dates and times. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I'm looking at it right now. Hey, Brandy. Stupid job got in the way of my true crime time. Well, I hope everything's okay with Jen. It's taking a minute. It's kind of got me concerned. I guess the one thing that keeps me wondering is He at least conceded to guilt. She needed a proffer to talk. It keeps me wondering. Yeah, and I still don't think that she's being honest. Like, it's one thing to talk, but also it's a whole nother thing to give a version of yourself that gets you in the least amount of trouble, which, remember, all the way back to that note they were talking about that she wrote, where she talks about wanting the ankle bracelet and to be with her kids and all that stuff. She's always been concerned about what her punishment or repercussions are going to be. There we are.
Hey, I'm so sorry, you guys.
That is okay.
I don't know what happened. Everything is all locked up and everything. I had to come in on my phone. Like I feel like this, like I'm in, I don't even know. I don't even know what's going on. I want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you for holding it down for me, Allie. I don't know what the F is going on, and it's driving me nuts, but I need to fix it.
Well,
And I don't make
you're
you sit up
welcome.
and hold down the fort, this whole time. Like, that's rude.
No, it's okay. I was just getting concerned about you. I'm like, whoa, Jen, I know that Jen usually would come right back on, and it's been a minute now, so I hope she's okay. And also, Claus, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Hope Bentley feels better. But yeah, I knew you'd be right back. So then I was like, uh-oh, I hope she's okay. Got me a little worried, but
Yeah, something is going on where it's actually, you know what? It's not my mic. What it is, you know how you can have your headphones plugged in and your mic, but in different spots?
Mhm.
For whatever reason, the laptop is not picking up the mic. And so it's picking up like the really yucky, bad headphones that I have. And that's why it's sounding like it is. So I need to do something to fix that, but I'm not going to make you guys wait on me while I do that. So I'm just going to say, arrivederci, au revoir, for tonight, you guys. And we will be over on Allie's channel tomorrow night to do the recap. And it will definitely be earlier because it's Valentine's Day, y'all. And we want to spend some time with y'all, are part of our loved ones, but then, our boos, as it were. So anyway.
Yeah, and I also have a couple little Valentines to spend time with too. And I'm telling you, they do, like, it's just hard. Like, this time is good because everybody's off work, but it's hard with the kids. Like, this is just a time that they're trying to get ready for school, and it's homework, and it's just any amount of quality time. It's just tough, but
it is. It's okay. Well, we're just gonna keep adjusting, and you guys will we'll always set a stream ahead of time. We're not just gonna pop up on you and be like, "Hi, bitch," or anything like that. You'll know in plenty of time. Just make sure you're subscribed and that you have
MK.
notifications turned on, and then you'll know.
Yes. Hey, before you go, one last thing. There is a Pointer Lover just dropped a link in the chat. What is that? I keep seeing that on my what is that? I keep seeing it from different people.
What is it? I can't see it.
It says yt3.ggpht.com, a bunch of random letters. But this is like the third or fourth person that has put that same thing in the chat. Do you see it? It's Pointer Lover's comment just a second ago.
Let me look. I can't see it on StreamYard. Are you seeing it on StreamYard?
Yeah.
It's weird. I wonder why I can't see it.
Well, I am on, you got to go to the chat on the phone, it's in one of the settings at the bottom, but also I'm on the guest app.
Yeah, I'm not on that. I'm just regular. I can't.
But you can still see it on there, but it's hard. You got to find it, and it's like one of the settings. But do you guys see it in the chat? Or is that like a glitch or something? I've been wondering that.
I don't see it. I don't see any.
I'm going to take a screenshot for proof.
Yeah, take a screenshot and send it to me, babe.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for having
Oh,
me. And
oh my God, you guys. No, Allie, you know what it is, babe? It's the pink hands waving. That's what
oh,
it
why
is.
does it show like a link though? Because
Because
usually StreamYard
sometimes,
shows like
yeah,
something different.
I think that there is a disconnect. Maybe they haven't quite caught up with the app. So I can see it.
Okay.
If you weren't on the app, you'd be able to see it.
Okay, yeah, because usually on the computer, StreamYard you won't see the emoji, but it'll have like the name of the emoji in place or something like that. And this is just like a long ass link. I'm like, I better not click
Bruh.
that. Look, they're all doing it now. Look.
Yes.
It's so funny.
Okay, here's the deal. So first of all, Jen Lou has a Dybbuk, apparently. Allie is seeing hieroglyphics and hacked alien links. This is not a good day, you guys. What is happening to us,
definitely.
Allie?
I don't know. We got to go to bed.
We need to go to bed. That's what it is. You know what? Perhaps the answer will come to us in a dream. All right, you guys, thank
like,
you
I'm
all
getting
so
proof.
much for being here. I appreciate it so much. You guys are fantastic. And I will see you guys all over. I'm going to split my time on Sleuth Mom and Disorder in the Court, watching the trial. And then Allie and I will be over on her channel discussing the recap. Yeah, Mayla's mom, it's the hot flashes. Now I've got Allie hallucinating.
Big
All right.
Dybbuk energy.
All right, y'all. I will talk to you later. Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.